everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Now, I did a segment not too long ago about giving advice, recommendations, opinions to other people. And I think we can agree that not everyone wants to hear our advice, our opinions for other people, or even ourselves in some cases. I want to talk to you a little bit about why I believe strongly, and write this down. Write this down, why advice doesn't always work. Here it is, real simple. Democrat, Republican. They can have a conversation. They can be the best of friends. They can be married to each other. But rarely are they going to change the other one's point of view. Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, any of those other things. We're strong in our beliefs. And we can have a decent, intelligent conversation. But rarely are we going to change someone else's views? Why is that? Because mostly it's coming from deep down inside of our opinions, our experience, maybe even our knowledge if we're smart, but we're still kind of tit for tat, yin for yang for the other person or group that we're trying to convince. And it just kind of, we put up our wall, a little bit of resentment, we turn the other cheek, we don't want to hear the other person. Yeah, you know that happens quite often, especially with our kids. They love to hear our advice, don't they? Of course they don't. What works better than giving advice, wanted or unwanted, is mostly living out what you're talking about. For instance, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, strong Christian, I believe, but people don't want to hear I'm a Christian. They need to believe in Jesus and there's only one way to heaven. They're going to watch me and see how I act, see what I do, maybe listen a little bit about my beliefs. It's not going to be so much what I say, it's going to be what they observe of me. Same as Republican and Democrat. There are two different mission statements, two different visions, two different values. Deep down inside, they both say they put America first. And I believe that is what was supposed to be decades ago. Today, we're not so sure. Is it just because I'm a Republican or Democrat is the important thing? Or it's the way I'm leading the country, the way I'm leading my own family or my beliefs, or what am I doing? You know, we often say things, but we do something different. I'm sure you can relate. We'll say eat your broccoli, and then you and I are like, well, I'd rather not eat broccoli. Whatever it is. So whatever it is. I like broccoli, by the way, if it's prepared right. Therefore, if somebody else prepares it, I'll eat it. If I'm cooking it, it usually doesn't come out so well. And that's kind of advice. Because a lot of us will tell people, yeah, I'd like to eat healthy and I can spend the time in a great cook. I'm a good cook, but I rarely take the time to cook. I just don't spend the time. It seems so much more convenient to me to go out to eat. But deep down inside, and I'm comfortably, I have the resources to go out to eat every day of the week. But not everyone I talk to does. So for me just to say, blow it off, why cook, why you have dirty dishes, just go out to eat, it doesn't resonate with everyone. And I think you and I can agree, nothing is better than a home-cooked meal. I totally agree with that. Nothing better than a home-cooked meal, provided it's good. How often do we cook something? I know I'm famous for burning things on the grill. I know it. I'm famous for it. I'll still eat it. A little ketchup or hot sauce or A1, whatever it is, I'll still eat it. But not all my guests appreciate my efforts. I know I should just kick them out and say, make your own darn meal. You're right. But it's good to have a home cooked meal, whether it's on the grill, on the stove, or in the oven. Now, even though I know how to bake, I know how to cook, I know how to make some elaborate meals, I really do. My family may disagree because they haven't seen me do it in a while. I do know how to do these things, but it's not a priority with me. It's so much easier because we all have different schedules and try to fine tune when, where, and why just rarely works. Unless it's the holiday where more of us are home or a birthday or some kind of celebration. And even that's not guaranteed. So we often take shortcuts and have someone else make our meal, have someone else wash our car, have someone else give us financial advice or do our taxes. Now, I understand we're not all expert in finances. We're definitely not all expert in taxes, but the rules are right there. You have a business, you can write off your expenses, marketing, advertising, employees, and you got to count the income coming in. It's pretty straightforward, even with the rental property. You made this much rental income, you had this much in repairs. It's real simple for the majority of us. Now, for those who just 9 to 5 job, and well, no one works 9 to 5, you're working 6 to 5 or 6 to 6, whatever it is, it's simple. I made this much money. It says right there in your W-2 how much taxes you paid. And it goes by if you're single or if you're married, if you have some different expenses outside of that, maybe school, it's black and white. So why do you and I pay someone to do our taxes? It wouldn't be bad with just 25, 30 bucks here. I'll just sit back, have a beer, let you take care of it. But it's often 50, 60, 70, $100 to do that. Now mine's a little more different. I have rental properties, I have business income, I have retirement income, I have different things going on. And I know how to do all that. But would it be better if I just hired someone? Because I get stressed and frustrated around tax time. In fact, the last 4 years I've had to file late. Why is that? When I could, and quite frankly, this has to do with advice because other business people giving me the advice to hire a bookkeeper, hire an accountant, hire someone to do those things for me so I don't miss anything. Have you ever filed for reimbursement or a refund on your taxes and you forgot something? Maybe you were going to school. Heck, you might have forgotten a dependent. Who knows? So some of these things is kind of important to outsource, to pay someone else to ensure that everything's getting done properly and on time. I would have to file late every year. Now, filing late is okay if you have money coming in, but can you imagine when you owe money? Better believe it, penalties, interest on your late fees, all those things come into play. And if you're looking at it that way, it's actually a lot cheaper to hire someone. If you don't get a month to month, just hire them to do everything for you. But you and I need to be responsible for keeping our own receipts, our own journal of mileage, our own phone calls, and different things we have going on. Because we can hire the best tax preparer, but they can only do as good as the information we give them. Like I do disability claims for veterans. I'm a proud retired Air Force veteran, and I'll file claims all day long. But I can't make stuff up. And if you're coming to me and tell me your back hurts, I can write back hurts for 20 years on the form. Where's the proof? Where's the documentation? Where's a buddy letter or personal statement from someone who knows you when your back was good and then your time in the military got worse? I can't make those things up. For one thing, it'd be kind of fraud or misrepresentation. You and I, deep down inside, are responsible for our own lives. So when we're asking for advice, make sure it's the right advice. I talk time and time again. If I want to open up I don't know, a Toyota car dealership, am I going to ask a Subway sandwich shop for advice how to open a car dealership? Even if that Subway place is successful? Probably not. Because even though they're both business minded, both might have made millions. It's a different business model. So when we're asking for advice, a parent, a friend, a peer, a neighbor, Be careful what we're asking for and be accurate in what we really want. If we want to start a business, do you want a brick and mortar business? A network marketing business, affiliate marketing? How are you going to advertise yourself? Is it going to be the videos like this? Is it going to be mailings, emails? Really decide what you want and look for, search for the person or people or organization that has what you want and who is successful at it. It's real important. I made so many mistakes early on in my entrepreneurship world, and I've spent tens, count me, tens of thousands of dollars learning things, marketing, different systems. And most of them were good, some were great, but it's still up to me to do the work. It's still up to me to make an effort, to give it my all, to take it seriously. Because deep down inside, if we have a job, if we have a business, if we're retired, we need to ensure we have enough income coming in to support ourselves and our families. It doesn't make sense to have this big debt and one day we're going to leave this world and pass along to our family members. Is that fair? Maybe it is. Maybe some of them had to come into them. Don't get me wrong. Maybe some of them had to come into them. But in the meantime, we need to have a smile and feel good about what we're doing. We need to love what we're doing. And if you don't like what you're doing, regardless of what it is, do something different. Don't you dare tell me you've been a bartender 20 years and you don't know how to do something else. You could take college classes like anyone else does, or you could I don't know, learn to be a plumber or sell crafts on the side or make flags or wreaths for people. It's no damn excuse for any of us to be bitching and complaining about what we're doing or not doing if we're not doing something to get out of there. Life's not perfect, but I don't owe you anything, and you don't owe me anything, and the government doesn't owe us anything but a pursuit of happiness, a little bit of freedom there, to say our part, to be able to pick up, and even if we fail, to dust our boots off and get up and start again. When you and I start again, we have those little baby steps of success, it feels kind of good. It feels kind of good. I remember my first time I made $10,000 in 1 month. The first time. Wow, was that a big deal? That was a huge deal. Because before that, I was making $4,000 a month from my job and that entrepreneurship, making that 10. Was it consistently? No. After that, I was making a lot less, a lot less. It took me a while to figure things out and be more consistent and persistent in my efforts. And I've seen that. People have a little bit of success and they're partying and celebrating all the time. And one day they wake up and it's all gone. It happens. It happened to me. It happened to a lot of my other friends and peers and mentors. So if you find a right peer and mentor who can give you a little golden nugget, like stay in the game, don't quit, find something that you're passionate about. Don't put all your money or eggs in one basket. Don't go buy all this nice stuff right away. Make sure you have a little bit of savings, a little buffer on the side. You and I know life's not perfect. Look behind me. This is Pismo Beach, California. And I used to live closer there. I moved a little further away. I live in the area. I choose to live near the ocean. I choose to live near the beach. Regardless of if I'm in the water all the time or not, doesn't matter. You and I can choose where we want to live. There are people flipping hamburgers that live out here also. I don't want to hear you have to be super duper rich. It helps if you want to have some comfort, and there's nothing wrong with having a little nest egg or some money put away. I don't care if you make $100,000 a year from your job. You should be thinking of alternative streams of income to bring another, I don't care, it's $500 a month or $1,000 a month. Can you imagine a $500 extra a month? Believe it or not, that's a Porsche payment. You can have a brand new Porsche with just an extra $500 a month or whatever you want to have. So if I give you any tidbits, it's when we're asked for our advice, make sure that we do the research and doing them justice, not just our opinions all the time. Sure, it's fun. Well, let me tell you, son, this is what I know. That's fun. But more often than not, they want some sound advice and recommendations to move ahead and make the life just a little bit better. There is no better compliment than when someone comes to me and say, hello, Mr. Skoda, hello, Dr. Skoda, hello, Captain, hello, Command, all that stuff. And when it says, can you help me here? Or what do you think about this? Or I think about going this direction. There is no better compliment than someone coming to you. So it's your obligation, my obligation, to give the best advice. How do we do that? Maybe we can't give them what they're looking for right away, but you and I can do our research from our own experience, from books, from articles, from videos like this. It's so important to give our best all the time. And when we're not at our best, we should step back and say, this isn't the best time for me. Because we want people to keep coming back and trusting us. And if we keep just giving frivolous information, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If they're smart, they're going to go elsewhere for the advice, recommendations, and guidance that they need in their own lives. Take this time seriously. Learn a new skill. Even if you love your job and you're making good money, good on you. You can still learn how to paint on the side. You can still learn how to do little art crafts or woodworking projects. We can all still learn something, even if we're retired. Because once we stop using our mind, it turns to mush. We stop exercising and moving around, our body turns to slush. That's even worse. And you know what I'm talking about, because I've been there, done that, and I struggle with a lot of those same issues that a lot of us do. So that's some of the advice right there. Just get off your ass, move around, learn something, and back at you, move around. We all have to do something. So whatever it is, give your best. And if you're not at your best at the time, explain, this is not the best time, but I'll get back with you. I'll show you. Here's what I've learned. And here's what I learned is if we're consistently learning new things, if we're consistently stepping up to the plate, if we're consistently putting ourselves out of our comfort zone to learn, to grow, to be better. Anyways, you know who I am, where I am, and I love being here. And don't be afraid to reach out. I've learned a few things over the years. And probably my list of do nots is bigger than my list of do's. So reach out. I give you a big list of do not do this, do not do that. I don't recommend this other thing. But I also have a few golden nuggets out there. And ones have been passed along to me, who's helped me live near Pismo Beach. And once again, you don't have to be a millionaire to live in millionaire style. Whoever told you they just don't know what they're talking about. You don't have to have a college degree to have the lifestyle you want. You don't have to grow up in the best family to have what you're looking for. But you and I job, our obligation as adults is not to blame the past, our family, our government, our neighborhood, if we don't like where we are. You and I we are better than that. Make sure that you consistently work out and reach for the stars. Anyways, you're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Hey, please tell me your story. I'd like to hear it. Maybe, who knows, maybe we can do something together in the future. Have yourself a great day. Bye now.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
As we continue to grow and build a brand, social media shows continue to develop and discover new possibilities to help one another. Our affordable services will help us move to the next level of our journey. Host your own show to inspire or entertain others for as low as $150 per month.
You have 20 shows a week, live stream.
We are looking for sponsors. We showcase your business products and services on our network to be seen by your target market for as low as $200 a month.
That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations.
Let us promote and advertise your event, giving your venue the red carpet treatment. This platform allows venues that feature entertainment, singers, bands, DJs, comedy, fashion, corporate events, and family events to be showcased in a new direction that also involves your audiences starts at $200 an hour. We also provides video editing, website builder, commercial video for your business, music videos, photography, provided by our affiliates. As we build our community, we pay it forward. Our nonprofit organization GI Connections is all about giving back to our community. Join us create outreach programs to help our community and live a happy, peaceful, and unity. Let us bring the world to you.
Hello, everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Yeah, Joseph Skoda. Actually, I'm part of Social Media Shows Network as well as many other networks. You want to find out a little bit more about me? Go to josephskoda.com/about. Tell you about my military career, the ups and downs of getting out of the military, tell you a little bit about what I've done since then, different degrees I've had, different jobs, opportunities I had, and learning how to speak in front of a camera or a live audience is perhaps the most bestest, that's not even a word, experience I've ever had that opened up even more opportunities than ever before. Now, every now and then, you could say I'm a TV personality, maybe not really, but I'm a leader. I'm a leader in a lot of veterans organizations as well as my own nonprofit. You see me on the air quite a bit. And people come to me and they ask advice, recommendations, how to get started, maybe doing podcasts, how to get started entrepreneurship, if they should join the military or not, all of those things. And there's not a better compliment in my mind than when someone asks you to mentor or coach them. It's a great experience, especially as you're working your way up the higher echelons or up the ladders, and sometimes you get a little busy, and often you lose connection with those you're supervising, but you're moving up and someone says, hey, Mr. Skoda, hey, Dr. Skoda, hey, Captain Skoda, hey, whatever it is, can you help me? Hi, Commander Skoda, all those things. Can you help me? I'm having a little problem in a certain area. And like I said, that's very humbling. But every now and then I'll misspeak. I'll say something wrong. Maybe we'll be heard, misunderstood. Maybe we'll be just wrong altogether. And sometimes that happens. Because you and I, as human beings, unless we're engineers, of course, we talk from our heart. We talk from compassion. We talk a lot about from our opinions, which is okay. We all have an opinion, and it's important to express that from time to time. But sometimes the facts are more important than our opinion. Sometimes the baby steps to how to, even if you're doing it yourself, is more important than our passion behind it. You understand, a lot of people in my life, my parents, my aunts, my uncles, neighbors, all those good things, always wanted me to do well, always gave me their best advice, their best opinion, hoping I could capitalize on it and do even bigger, better things in my life. Sometimes I would take it to heart, what they say, study hard, get a good education, get that great job, and retire after 40 or 50 years. That's not the best advice for most of us. Let me tell you that right now. Sure, it is important to get an education, whether formally or informally. Now, I believe all of us should obviously finish high school and maybe get an associate's degree or at least some technical degree where you learn a skill. It's so important that people learn how to be welders, seamstresses, carpenters, plumbers, all of those things, electricians. Those jobs are so important to help the world go round. How many business people do we really need? I'm a businessman. I actually have an MBA, which is a Master's of Business Administration. I had that for a long time. I worked on that when I was in the military. But the world needs more plumbers, more electricians, not necessarily more lawyers. Let me tell you that. The world needs more of them. And that is not my skill set. Even though I did some carpentry a few years ago and worked on houses a little bit, it's not my forte. Even though I'm a licensed aircraft mechanic and I know quite a few things, I really haven't touched an airplane in 20 some years. So I can mean well when I'm giving you advice about carpentry and working on houses and foundations. And I can give you more sound advice working on airplanes and how to stay clean and do it the right way. But my experience is minimal. My recent experience is minimal. So if you're asking me for advice to be a better carpenter or a better mechanic, I may not be the right person. Now, knowing that about myself, I should be able to refer you in the right direction. I should be able to tell you, like, yes, the planes are different today. I can read the technical manual just like anyone else, but here's where I recommend you go. Here's whom you should talk to. Here's my advice is look for someone with more recent experience. You see, often we want to hold on to things that we're proud of, accomplishments we've had, jobs we've had, experience we've had, all of those things. Our education we want to brag about. And there's a time and place. I have nothing against bragging a little bit. Like, yeah, my team beat your team today. Or yeah, I got an A in the class. Or yeah, I'm making more money than you. But realize those accomplishments can be short-lived. Eventually, people are going to make more money than us. They're going to get more A's than us. They're going to get more education than we have. And that's okay. Promotion at the job. That probably hurt me worse than anything being in the military, watching my peers get promoted before me. Now, I had the brains, pretty smart, really good at my job, but I never learned how to study accurately. I was never seemed to be in the right place at the right time for the awards. I was always shying in the background where the bosses, the commanders, the supervisors didn't recognize some of the things I did. And that's what I love about Toastmasters. It encourages that shy person in the back to find a voice, use that voice. And it helps the one with the loud voice kind of tune it down and structure just a little bit better. So the loudmouth in the front or the shy person in the back can be more equal as they both work on their journey and their skill set to be more competitive in the workplace. You see, we often give good advice to our kids. Marry this person or don't marry that one. Take on this job, or I definitely wouldn't buy that car. And we give that advice sometimes without being asked. Now, understand, some of our kids don't want to ask us, but they do want us to give advice, even if they don't say it out loud. But be careful that it's sound advice, not so much here. And here's important, we know when our kids are with someone that really loves them or not. From our own experience, we know what love feels like, and we know what it doesn't feel like. So those are important things to talk about. But when you're talking about buying a house, buying a car, going to school, getting the right education, wherever job, maybe move somewhere away from mom and dad, make sure you use this a little bit. My mom passed away just 3 or 4 months before I graduated high school. And I was signed up to go to the Air Force within days of graduating high school. And I asked my father, I said, Dad, I understand, because I had 2 younger brothers. Dad, I understand if you want me to postpone my enlistment. If you want me to stay around and help out just a little bit longer. See, I was 17 when mom passed away, and my brothers were younger. And sure, we were all boys that have that strong front. My younger one was 13. I asked Dad, say, do you want me to stay home and help out? And I know how rough it is. And he told me, he says, son, I got this. You need to find your own way in this life. In some ways, that was great advice. In other ways, I felt like a smack in the face. Maybe I was scared to join the military. Maybe I wasn't ready to go. Maybe I was expecting that I would be more important as the eldest son to be able to fulfill and fit in and help out with the family duties. But the more and more older I got and mature I got and listened to my dad's advice, it was always similar. You'll find your own way in this life. You'll figure it out. Get the education you need. You know what you need to do to get promoted. He never once that I can recall says, well, you need to go to this school, or you need to take this job on, or you need to learn this skill. Because he realized, and he was a lifer at General Motors. He was a lifer. He had a skill set, a limited skill set, kind of a dying breed in some aspects today. But he knew me and him weren't the same. I'm not the same as my 2 younger brothers. I'm not the same as my children. I'm not the same as my parents. I'm a product of all of that. Of course I am. I've learned so much from my aunts and uncles and cousins throughout the years and the many, many men and women I've worked with. The point is, it's important to sit back and watch people grow and maybe guide them a little bit, but not necessarily get in their face, tell them what they're doing right, tell them what they're doing wrong. Now, I struggle with that. I have a nephew live with me, and I tell him as often as I can what he's doing wrong because he's just not receptive enough. I need to work on that particular skill myself. You understand, we can bring up our kids a certain way, but our friends' kids might have been brought up differently and have different values, different virtues, different experiences in their own rights. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. It really does take a community to raise a child. It really does. And if we see some kid or even adult get out of hand, we kind of need to step up and say, hey, I'm going to take you to the last stand, saloon behind me, and we're going to have a conversation. You understand, we don't have a right to verbally, physically, emotionally, mentally abuse anyone. But sometimes we do that when we say things. It can mentally affect people. And you and I can probably agree that a parent or a friend who meant well said something that just didn't resonate with us right. We can all relate to that. It's happened to us, and I'm sure we've all done it to others. So if we can learn to be a little compassionate, a little more forgiving, a little more understanding, and maybe use this a little more often than this, I think we'll all be in a better place. You know, our world's not perfect, whether you believe in the vaccine or not, or the virus or not. Respect those on either side. On either side, none of us wants to be told what to do. So for me to do something, you have to give me that buy-in. Give me the real facts. I don't want to hear your opinion. Not in this case. When I'm injecting my body, I don't care if it's a bottle of beer or wine or whatever it could be. That's my temple. Now, I do overeat sometimes. I have to tell you, I could definitely lose a few pounds. It wouldn't hurt me at all to lose 30 pounds. I would look and feel better. But I do like myself who I am today. I love myself. Is there a room for improvement? You better believe it. And trust me, I get that advice on a regular basis. But that's okay. Find a place where you're comfortable in sharing your voice, but don't be demeaning to others. Don't don't just tell someone you're off your rocker, you're full of just because we don't agree with each other. We don't always agree with our parents or our brothers or sisters or cousins or neighbors or school teachers. But they do deserve the respect for us to at least listen or keep it quiet. But if you're going to get in my face and I decide to walk away, let me walk away. If I decide to turn my eye or my ear away from you, let me do it. Because if you continuously get in my face, you could expect a right hook, a left uppercut. And quite frankly, we all need to be able to do that. We do not need to get in people's faces without something could happen to us. We all need that personal space. You can call me every name in the book, but don't threaten my children. Of course not. And don't spit on me or poke me or threaten me. I just may rebel in a way that you don't like. Anyways, this is all about giving advice. There's a time to turn your head, turn your nose, and there's a time to put up your dukes and stand your ground. And every one of us needs to be able to stand our ground when we truly believe what we believe. But get some facts behind you. Please, we all believe what we believe. We believe somebody was wronged over here, but we may not know the whole story. We believe someone was arrested, someone was hurt, someone was killed, and whoever did is the worst person in the world, but we often don't know the full story. And if we're counting on our news or our mass media or any of those other things, you're not getting the full story. Don't get me wrong, that person could be guilty as could be. And then they may not. You know, we all do our best to respect each other and step in when something's wrong and report them. Because in the end, God's going to sort it all out and figure out which one of us are going to heaven and which one of us needs to pay in hell for the rest of eternity. Let's not make our life on earth hell also. Because a good majority of us may never make it to heaven. So let's pray for each other. Wouldn't you want even your knuckleheaded uncle or cousin to join you, even though you argue all the time, but it's just kind of what you do? Sure we do. Sure we do. Well, this is Joseph Skoda, Commander Joseph Skoda, GI Joe Skoda, Dr. Joe Skoda, and a million other titles. Well, I'm just a man with my opinions, with my skill set, And more importantly, I'm trying to study and learn a little bit more so we can have a respectable, important conversation. Learn how to converse. Go out there and make the world count. Find a platform like this. If you don't know how, reach out to me. Joseph Stephen Skoda, the third, over and out. Have a great day now. Bye. If you liked our show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on any social media platform, Instagram, of course, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts and join our team. Anyways, we appreciate you staying tuned week after week, day after day, because we continuously build up our network to bring to you what you're asking for. Have a great day.